to order. Roll call.
Mayor Laura,
Present.
Commissioner Landry,
Present.
Commissioner Vasquez,
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
Jeff is on the phone.
Okay, Vice Mayor is appearing by phone. You have it on, Your Honor.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Invocation. Ron.
Dear Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day that you've given us, that we can gather here and conduct this business for the city, and we're just grateful for all the wonderful staff we have, and we ask that you watch them and keep them safe as they go out and perform their duties, and be with this commission to give us wisdom to make decisions for this city and try and move this city forward. And we just ask that you'll be with the citizens of this community and help us prosper and be safe. And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 1, the awards, proclamations, and presentations. Seeing none, we will move on to item number 2, the approval of the agenda.
Mayor and Commissioners, we did have to amend the agenda, and a set of minutes were left out, so they are now on item C, the September 30th, 2024 special meeting minutes. And I believe we do have copies if anyone from the audience would like a copy, but I believe everyone has been.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? All in favor? Jeff, are you gonna be voting?
Yeah, I'll vote in favor.
5-0. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 3, the minutes. Do you want,
I
was
think
just
you're
gonna
fine
say-
just making a motion to approve all the minutes as presented through subsection 3A through F.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes listed subsection 3A through 3F.
I second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Landry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 4, items from citizens. Are there any items from citizens? Roselle?
Roselle Webb, CEO of the Liberal Chamber, and I'm here tonight to invite you all to come to a legislative dinner. I'm very excited. The Southwest Kansas Chambers, which is made up of the towns of Garden Dodge, Liberal, Scott City, Colby, Ulysses, and Hugoton. Each year we have 2 events. One is the legislative dinner, where we invite all of the Western Kansas legislators to come and speak to us, and people, constituents from Western Kansas, those Western Kansas towns, come to hear them. So that is what I'm inviting you to tonight, and I'm really excited because this dinner is going to be in Liberal. Be at the Country Club on November 12th. So I invite all of you to come. We just need you to register, be sure that we have room for you. And we're looking forward to having a nice discussion, questions and answers, and find out what's going on at Topeka. So, any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you there.
So City Commission Day too.
I was just gonna look at
Say,
the
so
calendar.
maybe make that agenda shorter.
Okay, we'll put that,
Potentially, if any of you want to go, that would probably be necessary.
yeah, keep that in mind.
Yeah, it is a commission.
Okay, any other items from citizens? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 5, items from groups. Any items from groups? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 6, the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as printed.
I second.
A motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Landry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 7, Hay Rice and Associates Chartered, the 7A 2023 audit.
So Mayor and Commissioners, Dustin Ormiston from Hay Rice and Associates will present an overview of the 2023 City of Liberal audit, accompanied by a proposal for the 2024 audit. The 2024 audit will once again waive GAAP in favor of KMAG, and those are our accounting practices that we started this year, and it helped us move along the audit and the financial statements fairly quickly. We'll do that by resolution at the end of the year. And each of you have a hard copy of the 2023 audit, and then we did publish it on Sunday's High Plains Daily Leader and Times to inform citizens of the audit being available at the city clerk's office at City Hall.
So Commissioners, a short overview on the audit report. Like Scarlett said, this reporting is different than what we've done in past years. If you look at page 1 is our opinion. The first part, we have an adverse opinion on generally accepted accounting principles. And all that says is that we did not comply with generally accepted accounting principles because the city in January made an election to pass a resolution to instead use a different basis of accounting that is allowed by Kansas statutes that basically shows compliance with cash basis and budget law, along with the notes and financial statements. On that basis, at the end of that report, it shows that we issued an unqualified opinion on that basis of accounting, which the unqualified base or opinion is the highest level of assurance that we give or an accounting firm would give on the presentation of the financial statements, which basically means that we believe that the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects. So kind of to give you a little bit of an overview of the financial statements themselves, if you go to page 7, that is basically your main financial statement that is reported now. That financial statement starts with the beginning unencumbered cash balance that we had at the beginning of the year. It shows the receipts for every applicable fund that the city has, the expenditures of each fund, and then it comes up with an ending unencumbered cash. We add back the payables and encumbrances that have yet to be expended to come up with an ending cash balance, which there again ties to the statement on line 9 that shows the cash of the city. Noting on page 8, your beginning unencumbered cash started at about $29.7 million, and we ended at 32.4. So we did have a slight increase in cash during the year whenever we aggregate all the funds together. So basically, this report shows our compliance with Kansas statutes on a cash basis. And then if you go to the back of the financial statements past the notes, on page 27 shows all the funds that the city has individually that are subject to a budget, and shows our variances, either positive or negative, by line item on each of the revenue and expenditure items for each of the applicable funds. So this is a different reporting than we've done historically. Probably more than 50% of the taxing entities in the state of Kansas do comply with this form of reporting rather than a GAAP financial that is a lot more comprehensive. So given that, I'd entertain any questions that you might have, or if none, if something comes up later, feel free to give me a call, or if you want a further explanation on any of the financial statements under this new reporting model, just let me know.
Would need to have a motion through the 2020 audit.
I make a motion to approve the 2023 audit as presented.
A motion by Commissioner Landry and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. Now moving on to 7B, the 2024 audit contract.
So Alicia does have a packet at her desk for the 2024 proposal. So,
Oh,
okay, so Jose has it now.
I'd entertain any questions. It's basically the same audit that or a proposal that we had last year, in that it's on the GAAP or the non-GAAP statutory basis presentation. And then we would be engaged to do a single audit if required. For this year, there's still, if the city expends more than $750,000, we would require, the federal regulations require that you have a single audit. The following year, that threshold will jump up to $1 million. So it may or may not be applicable probably 2 years from now, just depending on what grants and stuff the city is able to secure.
And I haven't reviewed that yet, so I would ask, I mean, I'm sure it's probably the same one from last year with some dates changed, but I would like to at least take a look at it before you guys take action on it, so if we can make it an agenda item for the next meeting potentially. Yeah, it wasn't in the packet that I saw.
Just the cover letter was in the packet.
So just, if that's okay with everybody, so
Yeah.
we can make sure that we have a chance to look at it, staff and myself, it would be appreciated.
so at this point, time-wise, it wouldn't be an issue if we don't approve it today?
No issue whatsoever.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and, no action on this item to bring back to, on a later time.
And the next meeting would be fine. Lisa can just email it to me and we can take it up then.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 8, ordinance 4620, rezone 304 East Pancake to C2 to R3.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this ordinance before you, a couple months ago, you had the Rise Group come before you and talk about they were acquiring the old Ranch Motel and they were gonna convert it from a motel to apartments. They have talked to me multiple times. They're taking all the appropriate steps. One of the steps that they needed to take was a rezone, which I just went ahead and started for them so that we were helping any development that needed to be done. This rezone did go before the Planning and Zoning Committee on September 12th. They voted unanimously to forward this to you with their approval.
Did notice that the weeds were starting to get tall, but they cut them over the weekend, I believe, or last week. So, are there still action on that location?
Yeah, I met with an electrical contractor over there 2 weeks ago to talk about some of the changes that had to be made and the best way to do it where it still met code, but it was the cheapest for them to do it, you know. So yes, there is still action moving forward on it.
Great.
I want to make a motion in changing the official zoning of property located at 304 East Pancake from a C2 to an R3.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Landry and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to item number 9, the Liberal Rec Department Adventure Bay Water Park.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor on the phone, Commissioners, and staff. The Rec Department is bringing an issue about the water slides at Adventure Bay Water Park that is in need of urgent repair. After several safety concerns about the gel coating on the water slides that have not been redone for the past 8 years, staff is looking into, well, as soon as season was done, we got bids to see what it would take to repair or just completely start over. The rec department went out, got the bids. Staff came back with multiple bids. And we are recommending using Amusement Restoration Company for the amount not to exceed $88,000 to fund this project. Funding would come out of the Recreation Improvements Fund. Does anybody have any questions about the gel coating or the water slides?
Is it gonna make people move faster?
Much faster, yeah. We did have one slide, the green slide was shut down for the entire summer due to chipping. So as soon as somebody went down, it would scratch their back. If I wouldn't put my kids down it, I wouldn't put anybody else down it. So we shut it down for the year. And it's been 8 years since it was redone. We have had them come out and do little patch jobs, but the integrity of the entire gel coat needs to be redone. And we believe this company will come in and they'll do a great job.
And how's the integrity of the slides themselves as far as the slide, like the actual physical structures or?
The structure is fine. They do
Fine.
test all that. They look over, they bring their guys out there. Something later on, we're gonna have them come out and do a maintenance plan with it every year, come out, test them, make sure we're good, recock the seams. Anything that they think that is an issue, they'll bring it up.
And do they tell you about how often this generally needs redone?
So every about 5 years.
5
We
years.
extended it out,
Okay. Yeah, we've
A little
gone
bit
fast.
longer.
Okay.
just kind of going over
Yeah.
what we had to.
You had some problems with some water pipes earlier on, didn't you?
Yes, we
So
did.
what is our foreseeable on underground water issues going forward too? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, without a doubt. Biggest splash pad could become over there, just throwing that out there. But I wouldn't give the biggest shout out to the water department. Those guys were able to fix the hydrostorm. So that is up and operational. We did test that out. But there are some issues. This is an aging pool that is gonna continue. I would say the big urgent coming up is the pump house. It does leak a lot. There's some issues in there. The pumps are new. It's just an aging pool, so I don't know how long you guys want to kick that can down the road, or that could be something that could probably be addressed here soon enough, but it's an aging pool that has quite a bit of issues.
A couple of the issues with the two of the smaller pools. So we're gonna replace all the valves we were getting leaked by, the valves. So we're gonna go ahead and replace all those. Our goal is to go into next season, all they have to do is paint the pool, clean it up and open it, instead of spend 60 days
Right.
repairing and getting everything done. We're trying to get it, be more proactive than reactive and get it taken care of this year.
This company was about to pack the trucks and start heading this way today, but we wanted to wait and make sure everything got good, so,
And this is gonna be for all the slides?
yes, sir.
What was the company name again?
Amusement Restoration Company. They've got a group out of Texas, Colorado.
DBA, the slide experts and slide pros. Have two names.
Oh, it is.
Okay. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
No.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we use Amusement Restoration Company for the amount not to exceed 88,000, funding coming out of the Recreation Improvement Funds.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Landry. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? All in favor? All opposed? What is your vote, Jeff?
Aye, I'm sorry.
5-0, motion passes. Moving on to item number 10, the Liberal Rec Gym Floor.
You want this one?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right, you can start it. I'll be here for questions.
Mayor, Commissioners, so as you know, we had the roof replaced on the gym floor, and we had some drainage issues that had to be subcontracted out. In that whole process, there was some damage to the floor done. So we met with the flooring company, or the roof company, and the subcontractor yesterday and come to an agreement to resurface the floor, repair the damage to the floor. And we've settled on a 50-50 cost for the simple fact that this floor was resurfaced in March of '23. So we've got about 18 to 20 months use out of it, and it's gonna last about 3 years. So we're gonna go ahead and get it resurfaced, hopefully October 21st, which will carry us another 3 years. And the good thing is somebody else is paying for half of it. So we got a bid we actually got 2 bids. One was too late to get in the packet. The bid we're gonna go with, and my numbers are wrong, it's 18,750. I thought it was 18,500. And I think the other bid you got was 26,000 something. So we're recommending to go with Foster Flooring.
You said it's 18,750 because it's printed as 19,758. Just making sure.
I think that's not to exceed 19,750.
Not, okay,
not
not
to
to
exceed.
exceed,
Okay.
but on the actual contract, it's 18,750.
Okay, okay. Well, I make a motion that we seal paint, resurface the floor to be done by Foster Flooring LLC, not to exceed $19,750 funding to come out of the One Set Recreation Improvement Fund.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Landry and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. Now, moving on. Are you here for this? Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 11, the splash pad aprons. Matt wants all the work today.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, the splash pad project began in July of this year, and we completed that in early September. The total expense that was approved by the commission at the time was $550,000. To date, we spent that $500,000 for the installation for the 2 splash pads, and the additional amount of $16,112. That was the additional expense. So the total amount that we spent on this project so far has been $516,112. The splash pad installation at Mahuron and McRae Parks have been completed by Oasis Water Playgrounds. This time, staff requests your approval to add concrete aprons and connecting walking paths on these pads. The scope of this project consists of installing 4-inch concrete aprons connecting sidewalks and posts for fencing at Mahuron Park. The timeline for this project is estimated at 21 days to be completed. So inside your packet, what you have is the invitation to bid. We received 3 bids, concrete and fence diagrams, and the splash pad apron bids that were splash pad apron bids, and also the bid comparisons. So if you have any questions about that.
Once these projects are done, who inspects this work?
We had our building department out looking at the initial pads, mostly for the drainage. But this is concrete. We're not gonna really have anybody that's gonna be qualified to get out and test the strength on those. So city staff recommends accepting a bid from B&G Services in the amount, LLC in the amount of $51,516.20, and enter into contract with B&G for the installation of the splash pad aprons, pass, and fence posts in the amount not to exceed $55,000. The amount will be paid from the 2024 Housing Community Development portion of the 1 cent sales tax. I can answer any questions.
See, there was a third bid on here?
There's 3 bids.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So HMH was the low bid, which is not too far off from B&G. I'd spoke with them and asked for any references for concrete work that they have done. I did not obtain any. B&G's a reputable company and has done work with the city, and I think that's a good decision.
Is the other one local, or where are they from?
They are out of Hugoton.
Okay.
Nearby.
And it's less than $1,000 difference between the two bids?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from B&G Services in the amount of $51,516.20 for the installation of splash pad aprons, in the amount not to exceed $55,000, coming from the 2024 Housing and Community Development portion of the 1 cent sales tax.
I second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Commissioner Landry. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
One
And you will be abstaining?
Yeah.
Motion passes 4-0 with one abstaining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, the interim city manager compensation. And I believe I will go ahead and take this item, yes. We have in our code book where it is $1,000 more additional per month on their salary. I mean, I don't believe that actually is in place anymore, so we don't actually have an ordinance that states what we pay as a set amount. So we can either go and use that method, or we can come up with our own. It will take commission motion to do it, so how do you all feel about that?
Feel about as far as using the old version or creating a new version, is that what you're asking, is whether we want to differentiate between the two?
Do we want to go ahead and approve that, or do we want to use a different calculation?
You said it was per month?
Yes. Any recommendations from our attorney?
It's really completely up to your all's discretion. I don't wanna put Scarlett too much on the spot, but you also probably wanna make it an amount that she's willing to take on the extra headache
And
on
it will
top
be
of her current compensation. And like you stated, that portion that was $1,000 on top of the salary per month has been rescinded, and it's just completely up to the discretion of the commission, what you wanna set her salary at as the interim.
I guess, employee salary really isn't 100% protected, right? That information is public.
It is, yeah.
Would you let us know what you're making now, so we can somewhat adjust to that?
So currently it's at 108.
That'd be another 12, taking it more.
I feel that would be, honestly, the city manager was being paid $170,000. I don't think we need to match that level, but I think $150 for these 3 months would be a fair salary to match. What number would you guys like to do?
Take it more.
Or we can go to the 170 to match.
130. So I was thinking something like 130.
Is that yours? Okay.
130.
Like 130, 135.
And the only reason why I come up with that is just off of some research of
That's
say,
about
like
the
city
average.
managers.
For our cities our size.
Our size are kind of between that 120 to 140 area. And even
Right.
some of the biggers with larger populations in the 80 to 100,000 or 120 to 140, depending on experience of tenor. So
I would be comfortable with 135. I feel like she is going to take a lot additional duties on.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I think that, the 1,000 a month's not enough.
no,
Jeff?
I'd be I'd be comfortable with that.
You guys are looking at 135, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be an additional compensation of 2,250 per month.
I'd say we should do an even 3,000 a month.
okay.
In
What were you at? 20? You were at what? 2250 is what you were at? Is that what
If you went to 135, it'd be an additional compensation of 2,250 a month.
Okay.
Just to put it in some perspective, is all. Maybe we should ask Scarlett if she's willing to do it for an additional $2,000 too. I don't know. Maybe she'll just tell you she'd like
Yeah.
her finance job back.
There's provisions in there, I think, but, you know, I am fine with 135.
Okay.
And I appreciate you doing the research, and I think that's right, for the city of Liberal, the taxpayer, so.
Okay. I appreciate your humbleness and your honesty.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
really do. So I think 135 is the number.
135? Okay, looks like we have a consensus of 135, but we need to make a motion on this.
And say effect, and you can make it effective as the date of her.
September 30th, I believe was the date.
September 30th.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, I couldn't remember. It's had a lot of dates. Well, I'd like to make a motion for interim city manager, temporary salary or salary, interim salary,
That's fine.
to be increased at, was it $2,250?
2,250
$2,250 per
Per month.
month,
effective September.
effective September 30th.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Landry and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0. Motion passes. Okay. Thank you very much, Scarlett, for stepping up to do that.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys, so thank you.
Moving on to item number 13, city staff. We'll start with you, Brad.
So I just got a couple of things. The striping on all the chip seal is about 90% complete. Tucker Road's been done, Western Avenue's been done. They're currently gonna work on the 8th Street, and that'll be our last big road to do. The tree program went fantastic. All the trees were picked up within, I think, 3 days. So we'll look forward to doing it again in the spring. Our long-awaited water project that began in 2021 will get started the week of October 28th. We had a pre-con this morning with Earl's, the construction company, KDHE, so everything will kick off on the week of the October 28th. And with that happening, I did get a hold of AT&T today about the tower that's going up on the country club, because we're wanting to do that main line from 15th to connect into that 16-inch line first. And they're looking to start anytime real soon, before we do. But the guy promised me that we'd sit down and have a meeting. They're gonna cooperate with us and do whatever we need them to do, so they're not in our way of our project getting stalled at all. So that was real good. He was real willing to sit down and figure it out, so we're not in each other's way. Other than that, that's all I got.
While we're on that one, the water project, that one is moving forward?
Yes,
Okay.
So we've got the pipe on site. Middle Creek was in town, they're finishing up a little bit in, Garden and a couple of other places. They're gonna start with one crew, and hopefully in January, the crew that's in Garden will get finished and they'll have multiple crews in town. Because if you remember, this is like, we're doing a piece here, we're doing one over here. So they're gonna try to knock it out as fast as they can. The project is 560 days. That's on paper. We don't think it'll take them near that long. And of course, it's gonna depend on weather too. You know,
And even at that point, it is roughly, what was it, 6 different projects in one?
Yeah,
So,
and some of them are little, some of them are huge. But it should affect a lot of our problems that we're currently having. Like the line from 15th to that big interceptor line on the north side of Country Club. It seems like every other month they're either digging up the neighbor on this side of me or Mrs. Sharp's on this side of me. And, you know, we had a bad deal over there when the valve broke and flooded her basement and all that stuff. So it'll be a relief to get that line new and completed and won't
not
to
have
worry
those
about
problems
that.
anymore.
And we did receive notification from KDHE this week about the amendment request to the line. And all of that is in good shape. I emailed that over to Earl's Engineering, and so we're in good shape to move forward.
And the guy from KDHE was actually at the meeting this morning, so he was happy with everything, the whole process so far.
Great. Okay.
Just want to remind the public that board commissioners and staff members will be attending the League of Kansas Municipalities Annual Conference in Wichita, October 10th through the 12th, this Thursday through Saturday.
Any other city staff? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to item number 14, city manager's report.
So, Mayor and Commissioners, I have several things. It's been a busy week, but first of all, I just wanted to thank you for entrusting in me the responsibility of the business of the city. I've said this several times. I said this to the employees when we met with all of them, but I'm a liberal girl. I was born and raised here, and I take this position very seriously, and I hope to provide stability and support where I can, and very excited about the things that we have in front of us. There's a lot of good to report, and I'm going to continue to carry those things forward. We had a really busy week. It was very productive with the help of everyone. They've been extremely supportive. But first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who presented large purchases tonight. They did their due diligence, they got their bids, and they brought them in here following our financial policy. And competitive bids are a good thing, and it benefits the city. So I was very pleased to see all of that. They did a great job with that. Last Monday, we closed out the fall cleanup coupons. So as you remember, I told you at the previous meeting that that was something that we didn't do last year because we were in the middle of converting the way we were billing, and we didn't do it the same way. So we were trying to come up with a plan of how we would do that in the future. But Jane in the administrative area helped us. Macario was wonderful in solid waste, and we just put a note on everybody's bill that said, if you wish to have a fall cleanup coupon for the landfill, come in and see us, which I think was great because they got to interact with us, and I got to see people I hadn't seen in a while when they came in there. So we gave out a total of 396 coupons. And we'll just kind of see how that translates, if everybody used them or how the billing comes in from the landfill. But 396 total coupons is a success, in my opinion. And to provide relief to the citizens, that was the point. And to clean up, alleys and everywhere where there might be things that needed to be picked up. So yesterday, I sat down with Eli Swati with SCDC, April Warden at the county, and Mayor Lara. We had a great meeting on economic development. We discussed several things that I'm certain will improve the city and be great to report in the future. I honestly cannot wait. So it's kind of the liberal that I always envisioned. So I can't wait till we can bring some of those projects out to the public and really get it out there. So people are doing a great job on that. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things that everybody's been waiting so long, and then it's all going to happen at one time. So we look forward to that. This morning, I met with public transportation regarding ongoing discussions about the bus barn. Apparently, this has been going on for quite some time in moving the bus barn and building it and getting funding from KDOT. And Karen has done a great job in doing the paperwork for that and communicating. She's included me with that. And just yesterday, we received good news that we had been approved for additional funding for that project. So she'll be coming here in the coming commission meetings to present some of those things to you for approval, because that's finally moving forward, where we can store our buses in a new location and it will be secure. In that conversation, I did ask them for ridership numbers because this is one thing I've always just been curious about. So they would send that out to the city manager monthly, but I wanted you guys to know. In July, they had 2,505 total people on their buses. In August, they had 3,068, and in September, they had 2,845 riders. So it's definitely not something that we have in the city to generate a lot of revenue, but it's a necessary piece of how we function here. They take people to work, to employment opportunities. They take people to the grocery store, and I see it when I'm at City Hall, all the people that get on and off and how important that is. And I don't know that those people get enough credit for what they do. So I just wanted to thank Rodney and Marie and then Karen for all of her work on that. And then finally, yesterday I sat down with Chief Pinkston and Deputy Chief Head with the Liberal PD to go over positions and things that we have going on over there. I appreciate the time they took with me because obviously I've never been a police officer, but I've managed people. So I just had a lot of questions about patrolling and staffing and different things like that. And then I just confirmed a couple of numbers with him just now. But we currently have 8 full-time commissioned positions open that we're actively trying to fill. We think we'll be able to fill 5 in the coming weeks because we have active applicants in the background processing stage and in the interview stage. Chris has been pretty lucky in going out to San Diego area and finding people there and recruiting them and bringing them back here. So we have about 5 people that are kind of in process there, and we're excited about that. And then we hired a detective. Yes. So we're very happy about that, and 3 officers yesterday.
That's
So
exciting.
if we can get the staffing levels up, then we can improve different things with school zones. I know you mentioned that before, and I had a lot of questions for them, and he was very gracious in answering them for me. So I appreciate that. And then just thank you to everybody who's shown me a lot of support. It's been a wild week, but we've gotten a lot accomplished, and I will continue to move in that direction. So
Thank you. Wonderful, thank you. Moving on to item number 15, items from commissioners. Who would like to start?
I'll start. Thank you to city staff and everybody out there doing a great job, getting ready for fall weather. To Scarlett for a stellar city manager's report. That was just great. Hear all that good information. Not a ton to go over. It seems like summer's slowly coming to an end and people are getting into that fall mood, and it feels nice. The nice cooler weather's nice. I'm looking forward to going to, Wichita this week. I'm looking forward to that big time. I think a lot of good information out of that. To the people in Florida that are getting ready to get absolutely pummeled, my family is directly right in the middle of it. They're hunkering down when they should be leaving, but I hope everybody stays safe. I'm glad we don't have to deal with those things here, so not a good thing. That's pretty much it. We're good.
Okay. Jeff, do you have any comments?
No, nobody wants to hear me croak out anything, thanks.
Ron?
Yeah, I just want to thank staff for everything that they've done, like I say, moving into fall and getting the roads that have been chip sealed, repainted. I've seen some of those that look real nice, and Scarlett, we're happy that you're stepping up for us, and we appreciate the work you put in already, but we're gonna, I guess, try to appreciate you some more. So, I think that's pretty much all I've got.
My turn. Well, I'd like to start off by thanking staff and community members as we transition into this new stage and new leadership. Thank you, Scarlett. And as we move towards the direction of finding a new city manager in the future. Last Friday, we had a conference with the Kansas Legislative Policy Group, which was great. There was a lot of resources that I learned about, and they're going to send us a presentation, which I'm looking forward to sending that information about all of the different services and grants that we can apply for here in this community. But they really shared a lot of housing and economic resources that here in Southwest Kansas we can apply for. I'm also looking forward to the conference with the League of Municipalities. I think it's going to be great, and it just teaches us commissioners how we can be more efficient and educated, where we can make good decisions for the well-being of our community. And of course, the health fair. Thank you so much to all of the support from the commission and the community. I am not done tabulating numbers, but last I checked, we were at more than 1,200 lab screenings. It was really, really busy. It was a packed house. And so, like I said, this would not be possible without the support of the city of Liberal. So I do want to thank everybody. I've gotten a few numbers back. Dr. Rain has shared some of her numbers. When I did the calculations, more than 20% of all her screenings, she's having them follow up with a referral because there could be cancer diagnosis. And with the breast screenings, more than 25%. So I think there are a lot of preventative screenings, and we just want to thank everybody in helping us give all of the community members the resources to be proactive about their health. We did see a lot of participation from people in nearby communities, but I have heard nothing but great comments. So this, like I said, wouldn't be possible without the support of the commission and the city of Liberal. So thank you for that.
All right. As always, thank you to all the staff for everything you've done, for being a great team as well through this process. We've done this before, actually, most of this commission, many times. Not pointing at you, Ron. And I want to say this is probably going to be one of the smoothest transitions we've had, at least for us, we've had. Ron could actually say otherwise, I'm not sure, but it was amazing to see that there was no loss in time, there was no loss in effort, and definitely no loss in economic development. And you could see just by the way Scarlett spoke about when we brought her in to discuss all the different economic possibilities that we have on the horizon, the excitement in her voice. I can't wait till we bring everybody into that, where all the different projects we have that just a handful of people even know exist. It'll be an amazing time for Liberal to see what we have in the works and what it will look like in the near and then maybe late future. So great times ahead of us, and we just continue to do everything we've done. So thank you to everyone making that possible. This time we will move on to item number 16, an executive session. And I move to go into executive session for 20 minutes to discuss city manager's contract pursuant KSA 75-4319B1, which is personnel matters of non-elected personnel, exception under the Kansas Open Meetings, and to include HR director, interim city manager, and city attorney Kane. To the executive session, we will go in at
6:20, so,
6:20
yeah.
and return at 6:40. Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I gotta give you these first.
Ron?
Okay. 5-0, motion passes.
just take it.
I think I saw what I wanted to see out of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I get too many of those things and
Any action due to executive session?
none.
No action. Moving on to item number 17, the vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers in the amount of $1,026,575.99.
I second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Landry. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0, motion passes. We are adjourned.